Yun na, start na.
Right na. So good afternoon, sir. In this task, we are asked to do the new task is task for set up activity directory domain services. So we will set up a directory domain services. So an active directory domain is the collection of objects within a Microsoft Active Directory network. An object can be single user or a group, or it can be a hardware component such as computer or printer. Each domain holds a database containing object identity information. Directory helps you organize your company's users, computers, and more. Your IT admin uses an AD to organize your company, complete hierarchy from which computers belong in which network, to what your profile picture looks like, or which users have access to that room. So we will be just following the video in available in the Google Classroom. So let's start.
Sige.
Logged into, but I'm going to cover. In this lecture, we're going to create a domain controller by installing the Active Directory domain services, but you can use any name that you'd want, or if you want to keep things simple, you can use itflu.com too. You won't break my website or anything silly like that because there's no internet DNS servers pointing to the domain that we're about to create.
Ang domain na to is
Finally, once we add
CPS domain name.
Mo daw na itong pwede ilisan or ano, di ba? As is lang.
Uh,
Excuse.
the ADDS roles, we will promote the server as a domain controller, and then we'll be done. You should already know how to install a server role on the server you're currently logged into, but I'm going to cover the steps again. Open Server Manager and select
manage,
Manage,
add
Add
roles and
Roles and
features.
Features. On the installation type screen, leave the default option Role-Based or Feature-Based checkbox checked and click Next. In the Server Roles list, choose the Active Directory Domain Services role. You'll see a pop-up window stating that you cannot install ADDS unless certain role services or features are also
Kailangan pa
installed.
nun.
Click the Add Features button and then click Next to
Wala
proceed to the
din na to
feature
na
Wait,
siya.
screen.
wait.
We do not need any
Ano daw?
additional.
Suggest?
Ay, wala na to ni na ano dati?
Ano
Ay,
lang ata siya nag-solve. Pero nana siya ibagong i-add.
na iba kong giada
So,
day.
kanya yun.
Hmm.
Mali akong nag-select. Dapat kami. Domain services. Then next.
Features as all the required features were already added. Again, click Next. Now you'll be brought to the ADDS screen. It tells us that we will also need to install the DNS role if we have not already set it up. Click Next and continue on to the confirmation screen. Here we can see the roles and features we are about to install. Click Install and wait for the installation to finish. Once the installation is complete, you will have post-deployment configuration steps that you will also need to complete. Once the installation is complete, click the notification flag next to Manage and choose Promote this server to a domain controller. The ADDS
Wala
configuration
pa.
wizard will appear, giving us
Wait,
three options.
mali ako
The
nito,
first
Jeff.
option,
Jeff, bro.
add a
Ay,
domain
wait. Kaning folder lagi akong makita lagi.
Ito yung folder. And
Ah,
then,
wait lang. Or wala na ko ni siya na ano.
connect mo ka.
Ay, nakakonect ko.
Yung folder. Ako kung nagawa ko ng folder.
Mo niyo i-send ako sa ano sa Discord. Awa.
Kita.
Ano na ko ah.
Mga na makita niyo?
Oh, mo na ko makita.
Oh, wow.
Browse file.
So wala rin ka kita sa screen karon.
Wala, wala.
Nagtanaw lang ka sa ano? Gmail.
Nakatanaw lang ko sa Gmail. Ambot ganing, ano kanila ko makita, kaning folder lang po nimo.
Ah, okay. Connect ako. Sabi pag og ano, kakato nga number.
Sige, sige.
Wala.
Kana magyapon ka ni 564.
Kani ka na.
Sige. Ah, ay, browse file di akong napindot.
Jim Lasat.
Ay, bantog di ay. Tingala ko.
Ito na, nanay mong mouse.
Atora,
Kita na ako
atora.
yung mouse.
Bantog di ay.
Okay, next yan.
Ka,
After,
oh, after,
saan. Sige daw, i-close daw, i-follow.
asa naman
Close.
ito? Wait, tanan ako itong video.
Controller to an existing domain. Put the server
Sige
to
daw.
a domain controller.
Maliyok na no?
Ah,
I-close.
asa?
I-close na daw, i-close.
Kani?
Kani,
Ay,
kani
kani.
ka sa baba. Ako na.
Then,
Nasa ka ng, display ka ng notification
yeah, promote the
na
server to a domain controller.
ah,
Then,
tas, para na. Wait lang, ano na, play na ko.
sige, sige. Ay, tama di, di naman di ko ka-type.
Madunggan ba ni mo?
Ay,
Ang
dili.
video pod.
Sige lang, ako lang isundon lang po diri sa ano, ako
And to elaborate on this, we are going to create a domain called itfree.com. If that domain already existed, we could create a sub or child domain called courses.it simply to separate our students. You could configure the subdomain so that admins from the itfree.com domain can reach into the courses.itfree.com domain and make changes, but students and teachers could not reach back into the resources of the itfree.com domain. Again, this is not an appropriate option for us because the itfree.com domain does not yet exist. The third option is to add a new forest. This will allow us to create and specify a new domain. Choose this option and specify a root domain name. I'm going to enter
So,
itfree.com and click next.
ang root, ano sa'yo root? Mao na itong root domain. CCS. Mao na no?
CCS. Imbis
So,
katong IT free.
add, add a new forest na tulad lang. Follow na ito. So, CCS.com. Or CCS lang.
If
Okay.
sundugan na gulo na to ning iyang gyano.
Dili kay mo man yung domain name do.
Ay, domain name.
Oo. Wait lang, mag-try ko nga. Ilang paano no?
Yes, this is our domain name.
Kaya ang gudang natin ba? So, task list. Paano nga natin?
Siguro pwede ra pud CCS la to ibutang.
Set na nga tala.
Mm.
Ay, ang domain name, domain name is with, ano man ata, .com.
Ay, di
Uh,
ccs.com ang kay ano.
.org.
Lagi. So, ccs.com.
So next, inbound, ano siya, magic tablet. And say, yun na ako laktan kay mounting sa video, follow lang
It will
tong
take us. The first two options, forest functional level and domain functional level, specify which operating system the domain controller will use. You need to specify the OS you are using, and in this case, it's Windows Server 2016. There's a bug with the latest version of 2016 that I'm using where the developers did not configure this screen to show the latest version as Server 2016 and instead shows Windows Server Technical Preview. Now, this is because Server was just released, and I guess they just didn't catch this when they're going through development. And prior to this release, there was the Windows Server Technical Preview 5, and they just need to update this. So if you see Windows Server 2016, go ahead and choose that. If you still don't see Windows Server 2016, choose the Windows Server Technical Preview. Make sure that the Domain Name System or DNS Server checkbox is checked. If you remember, when we installed ADDS, it said that we had to install this role in order for the DC to function properly. The global catalog option means that the server will list all Active Directory objects. This is a requirement for the primary domain controller, or when we're creating a new domain for us.
isa itong i-password na
If you
ito sa
choose
ulit
the
siya.
read-only
Lasat Pandi 123, di ba ito?
Oo yata. Or, murag walay number.
Ano na ito?
domain controller option, type in the D password around just in case. Click Next and proceed on to the DNS options.
Itong
On the DNS options screen, you will see a warning about the DNS delegation. This warning means that people on the internet will not be able to resolve local DNS names on your local DNS server. Names like itflea.com or itfdc01, etc. This is fine because we don't want people on the internet to be able to access our server for several reasons. One of them is security. Number two, we don't want to be using a domain that's actually a website and causing issues. Click Next and proceed on to the additional options.
So,
The net BIOS name is populated for us as itflea.
pero ano siya, automatic.
Semua ni makita ang daw nato ni.
The net BIOS, which is
Then next.
Tama lagi
on
itong
the path
CSS
screen, we
com.
can see the default paths chosen for the folders that are required by ADDS.
What is
If you'd
this?
like to choose an alternative drive, you can do so by clicking the ... button and choosing an alternative path. I recommend that you leave them at the default settings and click.
Ay, kana if
Ano?
nara sa ima if
Default
gusto
lang
ni
daw.
may ano, or
Gani.
as usual
Default
gapon.
lang daw.
Next. Now we are brought to the review options screen where we can see all of the options we have chosen so far. If you would like, you can click the View Script button and you'll be presented with a PowerShell script that you can save in order to later execute and quickly complete the wizard with the same settings we just used.
Ano yung gano'n?
Close out of the PowerShell script and click Next. Now we are brought to the prerequisite check window. The wizard is now going to verify that the server is ready to be promoted as a DC.
So, wait lang daw
This
ta.
will take a few minutes before it is ready, so just be patient while it completes
Wait.
the checks. Once the checks are
Then,
complete, at the
mag-top
top
up
you will
na.
see that all
Start yung
prerequisite
window.
checks have passed. If you encounter any errors that will not allow you to promote the server as a domain controller, you're going to need to Google each error and figure out what's wrong and fix it. Usually these errors are pretty simple to fix, so a quick Google will tell you exactly what's wrong and how to fix it. Once you fix the errors, click the link that says Rerun
wala tayo
Prerequisites Check and wait for the checks to finish again.
because it's a BG.
Kapag ka na error, search isa-isa niya. Sani?
Under the View Results
Ang try
window,
natin
we can see that there
fix.
are
Kung
various
natin
warnings.
fix.
None of these are critical, but it's worth reading through them. The first one is the security setting, stating that anything
God.
With cryptography, not compatible with Windows NT 4.0,
And
which is really old by the way,
na.
to our NAT adapter, and it will not be patient while it works. I'm going to speed up this video so you don't have to sit here and watch the entire installation. /administrator. Delegation. Again, we do not care if people on the internet can resolve our DNS records within our network. Click
Wala
the
sana.
install
Okay.
button and wait. We're not having a static IP adapter. Only good. The third warning is about DNS delegation.
So,
Again, we do
start.
records within our network. Click the install button and wait for the installation to complete and the server to reboot. This can take a good while depending on the speed of your server, so you need to be patient while it works.
Oh,
I'm going to
speed up
speed up
niya.
this video so you don't have to sit here and watch the entire installation.
Dugay yan.
Imuhang gyano katong
Install na na ako.
gi-install nimo. Balikan nimo kato
Starting
na
pa
lang.
na install.
Iya day pang isa-isa install to mga ano.
So, medyo dugay-dugay daw niya siya apart.
Mm.
And after daw itong tanan nga process, control and delete daw para diretso na. Kapag control delete niya, yung ano yung screen. And tara na.
Type na lang sa yung password na dira. Kung sa tayo mo
Nana.
Hmm?
Saan sa?
Ay, wala. Kato lang. Kato i-type na ang password na dira. Katong giset nimo dira
No.
nga part.
So, after ato kayo na to iyang nagbuhat na din yung
Bali mo katong sa Kumlab. Katong nakaingana katong mili ka og kasi mong i-login.
after niya mag-log So, nananing new roles. Oh, you're about to be signed out. This computer is start to test. So,
Mo na yata na tong restart og iya.
Ato na.
Mo na.
So, after installing, nag-start ang mga computer para ma-apply itong mga changes. So, na. So, tapos na to. Pag nananing duha ka bagong rules, ADDS and DNS sa server manager nga application. Naman na ito ang Mana tayo? Kata.
So bali pagkahuman ani no, pag nalagyan na bali ma-apply na siya.
map. Depende po kung apa yung
Mm.
then task file. Okay. Magiging computation. Tatra.
Mm.
Ang iwan sa video is control, right click control and delete.
Ah, kana.
Tatra na na. PS
Ah,
administrator. Lasat and D150. Tara, nalagay siya. And turn windows. Back screen, back screen.
lock screen na siya, no? Ah, tara rin.
Tara. And reminder. And ano ba?
Ah,
Tara.
tara. EDDS
So,
o
and DNS.
DNS.
So,
Okay.
kaning DHCP is last
Ah,
task
katalas
mo na
activity.
last task. So, so we have finished task 4, which is setting up our directory domain services. So, to check, if tapos na jud mi sa task 4, as you can see in the video, this is the final step or final result, which is having the ABDS and DNS roles. So na may ABDS and DNS roles. So that is all for task 4, and see you next in the task 5. So stop recording na